I use PowerPoint all the time, and it can be a very effective and engaging tool to share your presentation. But there are a few different ways to do it, each with its own pros and cons. So let's take a look together. I'm in my WebEx meeting now, and I'm ready to share my PowerPoint presentation. So let's start with our first option, and that is sharing your screen. We're going to click on our share button. I have two screens, so I'll click the appropriate screen. And bam, we're sharing our screen. I would recommend that you watch my quick tip video on sharing your screen for some more information. And now that I'm sharing my screen, I can pull up any program or document to show my attendees. And in this case, of course, we want to share PowerPoint. And a couple of things to note here. My first suggestion is to make sure that your PowerPoint presentation is minimized or in a spot where you can easily access it and pull it up. So as you saw, mine was minimized on my desktop. Now, keep in mind with sharing your screen, your attendees will see everything that you're doing. So right now, they don't really get the best presentation. What I'm going to want to do is, of course, maximize my PowerPoint program and also put it into slideshow mode, which I can do right here. I can control my presentation a couple different ways. As I'm clicking, it's advancing my slides. I can also come to the bottom left-hand corner and you'll see that I have some additional PowerPoint controls here. And if we come up to the top of our screen, we can actually pull down our meeting controls and have access to all of those right here. Let's move on to option number 2 for showing our PowerPoint, and that's going to be sharing as an application. Back down to my share button. All of your single applications will be either right here in one of these boxes. These are your recently accessed applications, or if you use your scroll bar, you'll find an option to search your device for all the other programs you have available to you. I've got PowerPoint right up here because I recently accessed it, so I'll pull up the application this way. So back to our presentation, and things are going to look pretty similar to how we shared our screen. We've got our slideshow right here that we can access and show our attendees. The bottom left-hand corner has all of our slideshow controls. And then once again at the top, we've got our meeting controls neatly tucked away. But let's go ahead and end our slideshow now. And I want to show you the difference here between sharing the single application versus sharing my screen. When we were sharing our screen, our attendees could see everything that we were doing. But this time, when I minimize my slideshow, I'll show you the attendee view right here. So you see all that gray behind my PowerPoint program? That's because this time, when I choose to share PowerPoint as an application, it's the only thing I'm allowing my attendees to see. If I were to minimize this completely, you would now only just see that gray screen as an attendee. Same thing happens if you were to pull up other programs or if pop-ups were to pop up onto your device, your attendees would see those gray boxes. All right, one more option, and it happens to be my favorite, and that is sharing your presentation as a file. So back down to share. This time we want to share file, and we'll search for that file on our device. Oh no! A big scary warning. That's okay. So what this warning says is that when you share a file, it's not going to show any slide animations or transitions. So a con with this one is that if you're a PowerPoint whiz, this option may not be for you. So immediately, I hope you've noticed the difference with sharing my PowerPoint as a file, and that is that everything stays in the meeting. I love this about sharing a file. I love having access to the rest of my meeting. I've got my toolbar for my PowerPoint over here to the left-hand side, which makes it really easy to navigate around. My annotations hidden in here. Everything you want to use. And the same thing with my other panels. Now get ready for it because I'm about to show you my favorite thing about sharing a PowerPoint as a file, and that is the ability to show my PowerPoint notes. Did you know that you can take notes in PowerPoint, pull them up as a panel in WebEx meetings, and actually refer to your notes during your presentation? The best part is that none of my attendees can see this. Wow, your mind is blown, right? All right, just one more thing I want to mention quickly about sharing your PowerPoint as a file, and that's the ability to stack multiple files for you and for other possible presenters. All I have to do is click up here towards the top of my menu bar, and I can even close it out from here. I can rename it, but most importantly, if I pull up additional files, anyone who's presenting will be able to access those from this button. Okay, we found best practices again, and I really want to summarize what we talked about. Number 1, nothing to hide. Share your screen to showcase animations and transitions in your PowerPoint, and easily switch to sharing other programs. Looks great in slideshow mode for your attendees, but make sure you really have nothing to hide, since everything you do on your device will be visible, and that might not always be the best choice. Number 2, get picky. Choose PowerPoint as an application to keep other programs or pop-ups hidden from view. You get to select the program to show and nothing else. But watch out for those gray boxes. If you open other programs or have pop-ups, things could start to look ugly. And number 3, pay no attention to the notes behind the curtain. Choose Share File for your presentation to keep everything in the meeting window. Have easy access to controls, other panels, stack multiple files, and my favorite, have a PowerPoint notes panel. Just remember, for any of you PowerPoint whizzes, sharing files doesn't capture animated effects, no swivels or fade-ins. And something else worth mentioning, certain video devices can't see shared files either, so it may be worth checking how your attendees join the meeting. Okay, thanks for watching, and be sure to check out our other quick tip videos right here at golearn.webex.com.